Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where apparently severe weather is detected. Today's beverage is a nice and calming chamomile tea. So, there is the bad weather. Let's go to stay indoors because we do have a grant to do that, just for the moment anyway. Anyway, welcome back to Prison Architect, and previously we were doing some building, specifically over at Cell Block A. More on that in a moment, and more changes to come. We also put in some farming, so we got 3 fruit orchards. We got peach, bananas, and apples. Well, all of the farming stuff is a bit sort of up in the air. It's all a test. It's a facet of the game that I'm least familiar with, so we are going to be just trying it out. We also have a farming field, which is mainly just for the grant. I don't plan on keeping this long term. And then we've also got some vegetable allotments with some tomatoes. Obviously, we also put in things like the laundry as well. And overall, have progressed on quite nicely in order to, well, basically go to intake and to max out on medium sec and then fill capacity. We will be receiving inmates today. And, well, we need to do a couple of changes and additions in order to basically get the inmates in here and house securely. Things like over here, because this is not secure, we need to sort out the policy, we need to make some changes to this cell block and have a look at the farming. So first things first, over to some flooring and some dirt, and I'm going to place the dirt around here because this is where we're going to have well, a fence that goes around, so I need to make sure that I can run the fence so it goes around without really interfering too much with everything, so that should be fine. So we'll run that. I'm also going to go over to objects and dismantle, and that's because all of these beds we are going to remove, as people have rightly pointed out. This is fine. The beds, they're totally fine and acceptable. I'm also going to remove this stuff in the middle. But there's a more fitting sleeping arrangement. So if you go to cells, you can see it's going to offers coffin bed, not really what we want. However, there is a comfy bed, which is I was going to run with it because it is a nice wooden bed, and that's the main reason for putting it in. However, the 2 reasons why it didn't originally is because it's 4 times the cost. It's 800 generic units of currency. It also affects the grade, and as default, if we go over to policy, grading shouldn't be on. Yes, use cell quality ratings. So basically, if you've got use cell quality ratings on, the inmates will be assigned to a cell that is based on their overall quality. So if they behave, the quality goes up. If they misbehave, it goes down. And that's fine. However, there is a sort of a cut-off where if an inmate is grade 0, but the minimum grade for cells is, say, 6 or 7, they just won't be assigned to that, in my experience. Again, that might be changed based on, time and patches and mods and stuff. But anyway, the point is that we've turned that off, so that's all fine. And, oh, we've had a death. And most dangerous thing about Storm is a lightning. And, yes, we've had a fatality. A worker has been struck by lightning. We can put in some lightning arresters, some lightning rods. I hadn't really prioritized that. I didn't anticipate that being a huge issue, truth be told. But, well, apparently it is. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with the placing of the walls. And you can see I'm staggering this. I'm not actually putting the walls exactly where you would expect. That's because if I do put them right next to, like, see if I put one here, then the workers will build this bit, and this bit, and then they won't build that because they can't get access to it. Because Prison Architect. So I'm going to have to build it like you see here, sort of sequentially. That's fine, we should be alright. So yeah, we'll come back to the cells. I'm going to talk about the other stuff as well, the farming as well, which is, as I said, something that is very much up in the air. It's something I'm very inexperienced with in the game. So, I mean, we've done farming before, and we've done automation, which obviously is something we've not even touched on in this build so far, but we will look into it later on. That now should, if my calculations are correct, be correct, and we should allow that to be changed to staff only, which we have. Excellent. Okay, over to these cells here. Let's go to objects into a comfy bed, and obviously it is more expensive, so it is going to cost us some more money. The other ones will be sold, and we won't use the other ones again because we want to build this and leave it. And then, again, we've got this in the center here. This is where we had all of the chairs around, and let me go for phone booths in the corner there. Basically, we have the TVs in the cells, so there's no reason to put them on the outside. This was just more for sort of grant purposes and stuff. And again, these will all come in handy, so it's not a problem. I will, however, have to sell the old beds, and I just don't know where they've put them. Anyway, let's go over to grants and to governmental security ratings, because that's probably a decent one to do. Dog handlers and armed guards. I haven't got I've got armory unlocked and dogs unlocked, which is fine. We're going to pick up remote access. I'm also going to go for body armor. I'm not going to go for tasers or taser rollout just yet. I don't intend on having any armed guards in the facility, but we will make provision for it just so we can, get the grant done. But I don't intend on having armed guards permanently. Also, let's go for policy, and I want to change for the medium sec. Actually, we should probably actually go for. Oh, it's fill capacity. It's fine. Oh, I was going to say, why is it not set up correctly? It is. It's just because we've removed the beds. These classes as having zero. Zero capacity for inmates. That'll fix itself in a moment. We could make extra money if we add a death row to the prison. Thank you for reminding me. Anyway, policy, medium, and we want to change the category of inmates to, well, basically nothing. Don't do anything with the inmates. Also, everyone wants to be in lockdown because we haven't got solitary. However, if there is a escape attempt, we want to search the entire cell block. That's fine. Same as attack staff and murder and found tools and found weapons. It's interesting. Also, produce narcotics. We are going to set up to search the entire cell because there's going to be a lot of those potentially in the prison because those come from, well, several rooms, including the field. So we'll have to see. Let's also go to ingredients, and I'm going to pause it for a moment. So prison's food system is based on 4 factors: the meal options, variety and quantity, the current number of prisoners, the number of meals each day, and the quantity of stored ingredients. Unlike imported ingredients, though, which are full of preservatives, prison grown crops are much more beneficial when eaten, and as such will be prioritized by cooks. Statistics related to your prison's ingredients and the food system can be found below. So we've got the fresh ingredients, which is these nice shiny apples, and then the imported ingredients, which is big boxes of bacon. And it shows you the fresh ingredients, which is 50, and imported is 88, because it's trying to split it up. And the reason it's done that is because we have actually now got tomatoes. Look at that there. We've got tomatoes being farmed. That's actually good. However, if I change this ratio to fresh ingredients, because I want to change it so we always have fresh ingredients. The main theme with this facility was always sustainability and renewables and being off-grid and things like that. So we've already done that side of it. We've got green energy and we've been off-grid from the very beginning, running on wind and solar, things like that, and using battery storage. And then the farming stuff, we wanted to go with that. However, that's not going to be from the very beginning, or at least that was what I said, because, well, you have to grow the things first. But we have actually got crops grown now, so that's a bit of a surprise. Anyway. The ratio is important. Controls the ratio between prison-grown produce and delivered ingredients used for meals. Ingredients will be ordered if the stored amount doesn't suffice. So it's not totally stupid. The game will bring in ingredients when it needs to, even if the ratio is 100% for fresh. That means that you will always try to use fresh ingredients. If there's not fresh ingredients, you will bring it in. So that's what we've got there. So prisoners are not just going to starve. Hopefully. So we'll see how we get on with that one. Right, so the regime I also need to set up. So let me just go ahead and quickly run through all this. So we'll do something like that. So we'll have a bit of eat time. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then eat, and that's going to be work lockup. Actually, is that a bit too far along? I'm not too sure. Free time before, you have a little bit of free time before they eat, and then work free time, and then you want work lockup in the middle just for a bit of punishment, then a bit of eat, and then a bit more free time. Actually, I could probably just knock this down a little bit, couldn't I? So you have 2 hours of free time, then you have some eat, and then it's going to be work lockup, work free time, work free time. So a couple of hours of free time, there we go, eat, work, and a bit of lockup. Yep, that should be fine for our basic one. We've changed the policy correctly. Let me match that with medium, just because otherwise I'll get confused. We've got all of our privileges, which is basically the medium risk inmates can go for visitation, mail, prison labour, all of the programs, which is good. The prison The prison meals, we will say for medium quantity and medium variety for now. It's only for now because we will change that based on some grants. Continuous planting is on crop type is natural crops, so you can go for GM crops. Choose whether the automatically purchased crops will be natural or genetically modified. GM crops have a 50% shorter growth time, but also lowers their export price by the same amount, removes their needs boost when eaten by prisoners. So apparently if you do GM crops, then yeah, you basically don't get the positive bonus. I'm just going to go with natural crops then. Continuous fertilizer. I do want to do some fertilization, compost or high quality. I think you have to make your own high quality, but again, it's a facet of the game I'm not overly familiar with. Farm search frequency. I can search it. I don't think we're going to do that because it'll be forever. And then the search target is crops only, inmate labourers, or everything. I'll come back to that. I don't think that's a thing we necessarily need to do. Okay, so what do we actually need to do? Well, I don't need to put in any pathing. That's fine. These are all being set. I do want to go to selling, so objects and sell object. And then if I find a bed in here, it's going to be sold because we're not going to use those anymore. So that's all fine. It's obviously raining and dark, so I can't really see what's going on. But yeah, inmates will be arriving in 7 hours. So what do we need for those? So I do want to check out deployment, which is correct for the most part. I want to go to our prison labour. And I will set up all the jobs for this, which is... Well, you can see there is more jobs in these areas than we can possibly ever fulfill. That's one of the downsides of this facility. However, I did put... I mean, we can expand. That is something that we can do. And we haven't done it in a while, an expansion. So I might check that out later on. That is a very much later problem. Deployment, patrols. We've got some patrols here. We do definitely... 100% want patrols around the outside, which is going to be a doggo patrol. And I'll set it up to the back there, and they'll go around. Okay, I might actually set up 2 of that, but there's a problem. We don't have any doggos. So let's go ahead and sort that out. So over 2 rooms and to a kennel. And the kennel is going to go around here. We do need a security room and we do need a kennel. The kennel you can just place like this if you wanted to. Doesn't have to be... oh, it does have to be... It does have to be enclosed. My mistake. It has to be enclosed. Okay. That does change things a little bit. So what I'm going to do then... I'm going to place the kennel in like... how am I going to do this? So my plan was to have an entrance here. Because I think it would be of some benefit to allow us to get out like this way, just because it's close to all this. However, it does pose a bit of a security issue, doesn't it? Kennel will go in there, minimum size 5x5. It's going to have to be bigger. The kennel's going to have to be fairly large because we're going to have in, well... We're going to have in a lot of doggos, basically. So the kennel, I'm going to run this across, and then down, and then down, and then across to there. That's going to be the kennel. Actually, no, I want it a bit bigger than that. I want it actually much bigger than that. That will have to survive. That's going to look annoying, I'm aware, but, well, that's how it's going to be. These are going to be doors, that's going to be doors, this is going to run up, and I will have a door in here. So this is all going to be behind doors. So it's going to be a large jail door there, large jail door in there, in there, hang on, let me change it back. Doors, large jail door in there, and all these are going to have to be automatic. So that's fine, and... there, something like that. So this is obviously a bit of a security thing, a bit of a security risk, but we'll see how we get on. So let's go to the kennel, and then the kennel, I will remove all of that, but then place it in here. So that will be eventually surrounded. We do need to go for kennels, the dog crates, which is just going to run along at the top, and then the dog balls, which is why I've made it the size that it is. I also need an armory, and the armory is going to be a temporary armory, so I'm going to go with armory, and then, does it need to be surrounded? It doesn't, it can just be in anywhere like that. Oh, to be fair, you can get stun buttons, and that means we probably do want a permanent armory. Yeah, we probably want a permanent armory. Okay, I'm probably going to build a security room around here then. With an armory. So it's going to be the reclaimed wood wall, and it's going to be that. That's going to be security and armory, which will be at the back. The door, let's see, doors can just be. It can just be a large jail door. That's totally fine. The rest of this, I will need automatic door openers, so remote access is being researched. Okay, that's still being placed. Oh, as in regards to over here, we have lighting, and people have mentioned about lighting. I've done a bit of a test. So we have just got the standard lights. The advantage is you can use auto light. They also go over things, so you can place them anywhere in the facility, which is good. Whereas other stuff, like people have suggested candelabra, I've not run with that one because A, it doesn't actually generate any light. It just looks like nice in a chapel. It's also mod content. It's part of the Ozone's bug fixes and quality of life improvement mod. And that's the only one I'm running on this series and run in general. What else have we got? We've also got, let's just go back to lighting. We've also got in these light green and light red, you can't run those inside. The lamp light, which is good, but it's, yeah, it's not really fit for cell blocks, I don't think. With that grandma's lampshade on the top there. The one I really wanted to run with is wall light, and it does work. It's fine, obviously, but you can only place it on a wall. More news at 11. But also the solar wall light. The solar, I really wanted to run, and it does work. However, I do think it also simulates things properly. So I put it indoors, and naturally, because it's been solar, it didn't work. Now, being indoors doesn't mean that there's no solar access to that, obviously, but ideally you do want it, direct access to the sun, whereas you just got some, it's not ideal in here. But mechanically, gameplay wise, it doesn't work indoors. I've tried it. It doesn't seem to work indoors. Like I say, whether that is because it simulates being indoors and not getting any natural light, so it can't charge up, or whether it's just it's indoors, it doesn't work. I have a feeling it's probably that rather than any sort of more complex simulation, but who knows. But it does work outside, and it says only turns on at night time as well. So when it gets to like this, where we've got bad weather, these lights still keep them on, whereas the wall light's only nighttime. So basically, I'm not running anything other than the default light, but I just wanted to discuss it and cover it. Right, so workers are cracking on over here, and that's good. All of this will become a bit of a nightmare when it comes to access, but it is what it is. I might put another access point in here, but we shall see. Let me go to deployment and staff only, and all that is staff only anyway. All of this should be staff only as well as that. So that should be fine. And, well, we are going to receive some more inmates. Let me go to... Oh, there's a box here that's just arrived. This is just fallen off the back of the lorry. So we will go to search, and it is a vehicle. A parked vehicle. Hang on. 1 second. Vehicle. Okay, I don't even think I can place that. Because it's not in any of the objects tab. Really? Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to sell it because it is interesting. So we'll keep it. We are going to receive some more, some more inmates. We are going to receive some inmates, so we'll see how we get on with that one. As I said, we are going to... Oh, this is going to be a problem. Yeah, the work's going to be an issue. All right, it is what it is. Metal detectors I haven't placed in. Sorry, metal detectors. We'll need to go there and there and here. And we've got them over there. That should be fine. Kennel is going in, and we have some inmates. So let's see who we have. Let me go to... Oh! Of all the things to unlock that I haven't got is intelligence. Well, we knew that already, didn't we? However, there is our guys coming in. Now, obviously, automation is going to be definitely a thing we want. Not just for farming, but certainly for the door control systems and things like that. We haven't got phone taps, we haven't got CCTV. There's so much we haven't got there. But we will run on that one. We will get that eventually. So there is lots of inmates coming in. See they're getting searched. See what happens. But that means now we've got some decent daily cash flow. This is going to be surrounded eventually, which means we can go with some doggos. So let's go with 6 doggos for now. I am going to go deployment and patrols, and I will set up dog handlers there and there. So that's all good. And then this will be built, which strangely they've managed to build that door and lock themselves out. Brilliant. Let me change that door to lock open. As I said, a lot of these I will change. Oh wow, look at that! So we already have people working in the field here. Excellent. Okay. So there was some discussion as regards to the pantries and where we're going to put them. I think these pantries here might not be too bad. These bits here. But if I just place one big one, say here, that'll be able to store everything. You can see all of the doggos sniffing out all of the wheat there. Sniffing away. So do I make 1, 2, 3, 4 pantries? Because Ben and Man are going to put them here as well. I need lots of pantries, and they're not going to fit in here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to do... Hang on, let me have a quick chat. I'm tempted to do something like that. And have a big pantry. Like so. But then you can't walk around. Maybe not then. Yeah, and they've got a bit of space there that just doesn't do anything, though. And I don't know if these pantries are... Yeah, are big enough. Where else can I put pantries, though? I could put a big pantry on this side. That's actually quite centralized. It means filling in more water, though, and I'm trying to avoid that. But big pantry around here would be good, because this is going to be a walkway. Like, I know I've marked these off with that. That's going to be... This is all going to be, essentially, these are all... That's more what they should be... That's more what they should look like, in terms of the walkway. Because the walkways will go in between. I'm just going to do this and see if it's a bit better for the styling. So it's that, and it's removal of that. And then the pathways are like this. Yeah, that's better. It's a bit more readable. So pathways are going to come like that. Which I haven't got in, obviously, pathways. Another downside of the facility at this stage. Objects there. So I could make a big pantry here. And I'm very tempted to do that. Because I don't think you need multiples. I'm going to do it. It's close enough to all of these farms that it makes sense. So it means filling in a bit of the water. Which I said I wasn't going to fill the full thing in. I'm still adhering to that. But that should be fine. Let's go with walls, no, foundations. A reclaimed wood wall. That should be more than sufficient. A pantry door. It's just going to be standard doors. It's going to be up the top there. That'll be our pantry. This is now in. Let me go ahead and cancel the lighting because it's terrible. And we're going to go for security. It's going to be something like that. And then the armory, which is going to be in literally the minimum size that is required. Weapons racks, guard lockers, tables. That should be all right. Let me double check this. So, armory, weapons rack, table small, and then guard lockers. We could even probably shrink this down to a smaller room, actually. We could. And we are. Could we have it as a 1 by... We could actually have it as a 2 by... We could even have it smaller than that, actually, couldn't we? Hang on. Armory. I could have weapons rack. Like that. A table small. And then a guard locker. I'm not going to place any... Oh, actually, I do need to place in another one. Because we need 2 guards. I'll just put the rest in there. And then it is a wood wall. And we will place in some doors. Large jail door in there. And then security. It's going to be there. Naturally, we have to put in all of the usual for security. So it is... Have we got this chair? We have that chair. Filing cabinet. But not that filing cabinet. It's a fancy one. And a desk. Desk fancy. Like that. And that should be security technically done. Let's put the lighting in. Which is going to be in... something like that. That should suffice. Electrical will need to run down. I'll run it across and down like that. Because obviously all this is going to require good connections. I'm just going to double check our patrols. Doggo patrols, yes. There's something flashing up there. I don't know what it was. We were running seriously low on cash. Ooh, good grief, we are. Okay. I will take out a loan. And then I will go for armed guard. I can't afford any. Max hired already. Yeah, because I'm going to have to do this. Let me prioritize the armory. And I don't need any more guards. Obviously, all this requires automation. That's going to be a future us problem. Definitely. Armory should now be done. 1, 2. And I need to set up the patrols. So patrols. Armed guards. Grant done. Remove the armed guards. Remove the patrols. And indeed, sorry guys, sack and sack. And they're gone. Because we're not having any. I will then get rid of that. We have emergency protocols and cell block A to do. Max sec infrastructures there. Prisoner acclimatization. We can do that. That's very easy to do because we've already assigned them to the kitchen. Cleaning cupboard. I can just go that. Minimum size is 3 by 3. And then the deployment. Sorry, it's logistics actually. Prison labour. How many do you need to assign? 3 prisoners to a cleaning cupboard, and the max size for that is 2. Oh. Cleaning cupboard. And then there's that grant done. And I will remove, obviously, a lot of these because we don't want them in certain rooms. That's fine. Speaking of certain rooms, I bet all this has changed. Yeah, so this needs to go all to staff only, which is good. It's saying no access there because that water you can technically walk on because it's shallow. And we want a pantry. So the pantry needs to be surrounded by walls and doors, which is done. And then you need freezers. So, pantry, tall fridges. Okay. I like the idea of running them across there and across there. Let me just double check the intelligence and informants for a start. Green thumb and 1, 2, 3 unknown traits. In here, booze ingredient, narcotics, produce narcotics and smelly. And then all of the he's. Oh, look at the state of that. It's so problematic. Okay. It is what it is. That's set up. We will need some electrical cables in here, which I'm going to probably run like this. And that'll connect all of that up. So we can now store our ingredients, which is good. It does mean I'm probably going to have to change up some of these. It also means knocking down trees, which means it takes longer to grow. Okay. I'll have a think about that one. Anyway, we have got people interested in kitchen safety and hygiene. We'll run that. Pharmacological treatment to drug addiction. We'll run that. Parole hearing. We'll run all of those. We always run as much parole hearing as possibly can because it's free. I probably need more parole, but we'll see. Conflict resolution, 3 strikes training. Farm work and safety will run as well. And alcoholics group therapy. Farm. Ah. Led by a farmer in a classroom. Ah, right, we need a classroom for farm work safety. Right, okay. Well, we're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of prison architect. We have got some inmates. They are working in the fields. They are harvesting ingredients. We are on mostly fresh ingredients. Okay. I also don't know why the guys are coming over this way. Oh, the yard, of course. Right. So we're going to leave it there for now. That's been, again, a bit of prison architect. Next episode, we'll run some more... We'll do some more grants, probably the inmate nutritional research if we can. Oh, no, we can't. We need at least 20 inmates. But there's lots of other ones we can run. We're decent on cash. We are obviously doing reform programs. We're doing... we're doing farming. Everything's in green energy. Basically, we are progressing on as intended. And we now have some fruit that's going to be coming in as well. So we'll also inevitably have a lot of narcotics in the facility. But we're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. Next episode, we will look at continuing on, doing, again, more farming, more grants, and see how we get on. And also, quite importantly, more inmates. I want to run with that one as well. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings.